welcome the voice of the Sacramento Kings, Mr. Scott Moak.
Jen was down here like, okay, so I really did the big announcer thing. Like, I'm like, okay, here comes Scott Moak! And I got that. Like, what the hell is happening? Jen, we'll talk later. How's everybody doing? Are we good here today? Yes? Welcome to the Innovation Awards. It's a great afternoon to be here and to be celebrating all these people, your table mates and those in the room for what they are doing in this community. My name is Scott Moak. I am a proud Sacramentan. I am a proud UC Davis graduate and Yale, just because I knew you were here. And obviously I have an opportunity and have for many years to work for the Sacramento Kings as the I always, every time I say that, and some of you maybe have heard me say this before, every time I say that I work for the Sacramento Kings, there was a time when I would get booed when I would say that. I'm not kidding you, and that didn't happen, but no one cheered either. So that's great, we're in a good spot. But I'm one of the vice presidents of the Sacramento Kings, and I'm honored to work there, and obviously honored to be part of the downtown arena, the still new Golden One Center, a year old, and I know we were part of this event last year, and it meant a whole lot to us, and still does, that we got to be such a part of that. I'm gonna take us through the day. You can absolutely feel free to start eating. We're gonna have a break here in a minute, but I do want to say a few thank yous to some people. First would be to Mark Haney, who emceed this event last year and really set the bar high. So I want to give him some love. Give some love to Mark Haney. He's been working with me for, I don't know what, 4, 5, 9 months or so on this, so I feel super prepared, and I know that he has a lot at stake for this event and these awards. So big thanks to Mark. I want to give it up for some of our presenters that you're going to hear from later today and throughout the afternoon. First, Stoll Reeves. Give it up for our friends from Stoll Reeves. Moss Adams, one of our presenters, so we can give it up for Moss Adams. And then, of course, the Sacramento Business Journal. We will give them some love, too, and say thank you for being part of this. We want to recognize the supporting sponsor and say thank you to them as well. That is the Sacramento State College of Business Administration, so we can put our hands together for them. Where are they? Right there. I announced for many years for Sac State. I went to Davis, yet I announced, so thank you for those years of paycheck. I really appreciate it. And then I know we have our program judges in the room. They are scattered about, I think. Do we have our judges? Do you want to stand up and be, let's let you be recognized for all the work that you did. Stand up. I see Laura over there. Very nice. Whoa. Louis Stewart stands up and everybody's, what the? You can sit down now, Louis. No, sit. Oh, you're sitting. Never mind. My bad. We want to thank the selection committee that includes leaders in business, academics, civic sectors from around the region who were part of this. They devoted many hours over a 6-week period this summer, back this summer, that they evaluated and helped to vote on the finalists and category winners. So they put a lot into this. It was quite a commitment, and we do want to recognize them. So one more time, if we could give them a big round of applause for their participation. Joining us here this afternoon, some of the winners from last year that we want to, why wouldn't we honor them? So if you're a winner from last year, can you stand up and be recognized? Nicely done. Very well. Love that. Thanks for coming back, for sure. And then, if this isn't the most selfish plug, but the script says to thank the Golden One Center, who won the Innovation of the Year award last year. It's the most technologically advanced and sustainable arena in the world. It is our 1-year anniversary, and again, being a part of this last year and this today, very special for all of us. So on behalf of our ownership and executive team and everybody working there, thank you very much for letting us be a part of it, for sure. So on behalf of the Golden One Center, thank you. And Kings play tonight, so if you want to come on down to the Golden One Center, because we'll be playing the Oklahoma City Thunder, and we will be in the game at the beginning. I promise you that. I promise. We do have some social. No one else from the Kings is here, so I can't be fired, can I? We do have social media cards. Is that what those are? Can someone want to hold those up? There they are right there. So these are those social media cards. It's going to make it even easier for you to socially post and get active online if you can on your social networks about this lunch. We want as many people to hear about it and on as many platforms as possible. So make sure you are using that as a guide and posting away this afternoon. And now I get to invite you to continue to eat your sandwiches and salads, and if Louis Stewart will save cookies for his table, that would be fantastic. But otherwise, we will be back in about 5 minutes, so enjoy. We're going to focus this part on really move the spotlight to this year's innovation or innovator of the year, and that is, of course, our friends across the causeway at UC Davis. The university is being honored for its role as champion of regional innovation and entrepreneurship. The Innovation Awards Steering Committee applauds them in the many, many ways that they have nurtured the innovation ecosystem. Innovation truly defines so much of the university's mission and spirit, and so here to help round out and tell a little bit more about the UC Davis story, we're going to welcome up the Associate Vice Chancellor for Technology Management and Corporate Relations at UC Davis. Please welcome Mr. Dushyant Pratap.
Well, it's truly an honor and a privilege to stand here in front of this great group of community leaders, regional innovators, to say a few words before Chancellor May's keynote address. My sincere thanks for this opportunity. Now, as many of you know, UC Davis was formally established as the University Farm in 1905, which actually is the same year that Las Vegas was founded. Now, what's the connection there? We all know that what happens in Vegas stays in Vegas. That's probably a good thing. Somehow, unfortunately, UC Davis has also shared this feature with Las Vegas for too many years. But with the creation of the Technology Management and Corporate Relations Division in 2012, and the launch of Venture Catalyst in collaboration with the UC Davis Institute for Innovation and Entrepreneurship in 2013, we have been focused on making sure that what happens in UC Davis makes a positive impact outside UC Davis. We're doing this in many ways, but perhaps most important is our proactive support for and collaboration with our community partners to support the local and regional innovation networks that are so critical to our success. Our partnership with Stoll Reeves and the cross-connectivity between the UC Davis Chancellor's Innovation Awards and the Sacramento Region Innovation Awards is a perfect example of this. And I'd like to take this opportunity to thank Chris Russell, Jen Forrester, Melissa Jones, and all of their colleagues at Stoll Reeves for their generous support of the Chancellor's Awards and university innovation. Thanks also to Stoll Reeves, the Sac Business Journal, and Moss Adams for their support of these awards today. Finally, I'd really like to thank each and every one of you in this room, since it is your passion, your vision, and support that join together to provide the power of collaboration and community that will support a vibrant culture of innovation in our region into the future. Speaking of the future, I can't, and I know you can't wait to hear Chancellor May, who's already shared many nuggets of inspirational vision with us on several occasions, despite his only having been at the university since August. So, with that, I'll thank you once more and allow the following short video and you to join me in welcoming Chancellor May to the stage. Thank you.
Davis. Thank you, everyone. Thanks for the wonderful introduction to Sean, and appreciate the opportunity to be here with you. And thank you to the Sacramento Innovation Awards Steering Committee, especially. We at UC Davis are honored to accept this prestigious award on behalf of the entire Davis community. We're grateful to be recognized for our innovation, particularly because innovation really defines our university mission and spirit. First, let me not forget to give a quick shout out to Scott Moak. Scott is my personal MC. He does every event that I speak at. And he's a perfect match for the ceremony. As he said, he's a proud Aggie. He personifies our commitment to the public good in his role as president of community impact for the Kings. Thanks again, Scott, for continuing to make us look good. I've had the pleasure of developing a friendship also with Vivek Randive. He's invited my wife, Lachelle, and I to join him for the Kings opening game last month. We are Atlanta Hawks fans, as you might imagine, but we're definitely rooting for the Kings these days, but we certainly would appreciate another invitation when the Hawks visit the Golden One. My discussions with Vivek and other business leaders go beyond basketball. One of the priorities as UC Davis Chancellor is to develop a new level of synergy between our university and the city of Sacramento. Together, I believe we can build a new era of vitality with the communities, with our communities and the regional economy. And I'll touch more on that in just a bit. I'd first like to speak to my own passion for innovation. As an academic, my research focused on computer-aided manufacturing of integrated circuits, which is a fancy way of saying I develop ways to produce the hearts and brains of computers, mobile devices, and electronic products. Some of my early inspiration for engineering came from watching Star Trek as a kid. It's the first place anyone ever saw a flip phone. And you may also notice that the pad devices that the Starfleet crew uses look a lot like the tablets of today. Like the Star Trek crew, I always wanted to explore, to boldly go where no one has gone before, and to make the world a better place along the way. And that's what led me to UC Davis. I enjoyed a wonderful career at Georgia Tech, where I earned my undergraduate degree in electrical engineering, and most recently served as its Dean of the College of Engineering, which is the largest and most diverse and one of the very best engineering schools in the country. But how could I pass on UC Davis? Davis personifies California's forward-thinking spirit and quest for greatness. You see it in a number and variety of research centers, patents, and business startups arising from our world-renowned agriculture and food science programs. You find it in our holistic approach to studying living beings, from microbes to salmon to gorillas and even humans. We're ranked first in the world for veterinary medicine and first in the nation for agriculture, second in the world. We're ranked sixth among all public research universities in the United States, and we lead the nation in launching women into STEM professions. And we're accomplishing all this in a region that's on the rise. Some talk of the greater Sacramento region as part of a mega region that's emerging from Silicon Valley through the San Francisco Bay Area and all the way up the I-80 corridor to the Sierra foothills. If that's the case, then UC Davis is well poised to make that transition a reality. In the past fiscal year, 14 startup companies were created using technologies developed at Davis. These included critical ventures related to medicine, genetics, cancer therapies, sensor technology, food waste, and more. UC Davis graduates are already filling the pipeline of talent in engineering, software development, and biotechnology here in the region, in Silicon Valley, and elsewhere in the Bay Area. In addition, our continuing and professional education program serves up to 60,000 students a year. Its courses and certification programs are tailored to fit the needs of employees and employers in the region. These include entrepreneurship academies in food, agriculture, and biomedical engineering, and business partnerships that provide incubation facilities, technology, and prototyping equipment. Like I said, how could I pass up on UC Davis? Now that I'm here, I'm working to elevate Davis to the next level, starting with a university-wide 10-year strategic plan, one that assembles our many outstanding pieces that you heard about into a coherent whole that provides a roadmap to preeminence. I gave that plan a name, To Boldly Go. You may recall the Star Trek reference from earlier, or not. But the name sets a tone that UC Davis is moving forward with confidence and commitment to excellence like never before. The plan will address some key challenges, such as
How can we accelerate our diversity as a university community to better represent the diversity of California's population? How can we strengthen our research and entrepreneurship enterprise? No pun intended, enterprise. I'll keep waiting until you laugh. And then there's the especially important part, how can we strengthen our ties with the greater Sacramento region? I'll give you a preview of what I have in mind. Imagine an innovation ecosystem in the urban core of Sacramento. Imagine this hub as an extension of the UC Davis campus, one that links our world-renowned research, faculty, and students with local business. Imagine a genuine live, learn, work, play urban ecosystem. Not an island of research labs, but a center that truly ties itself to the surrounding community, including housing, retail space, and even venues for art and music. This is the working concept that I'm calling Aggie Square. I see a tremendous opportunity that would give students easier access to companies for employment and make it easier for companies to collaborate on research with our faculty, postdocs, and graduate students. This concept is modeled after Technology Square in Atlanta, which I had a hand in developing at Georgia Tech. We were successful in transforming a once neglected section of urban Atlanta to a thriving innovation ecosystem that bridges the university with the city and the business community. Some of the biggest names in corporate America are part of Tech Square, including AT&T, Agilent, and Coca-Cola. Tech Square is also home to the Scheller College of Business, a hotel, and a conference center. So I'm confident that we can do something similar here in Sacramento with Aggie Square, and I've had discussions already with Mayor Steinberg and Sacramento business leaders on how this idea might be adapted to our region. The mayor's already toured Tech Square at my invitation, so as we work toward making this Aggie Square a reality, UC Davis continues to push the future. We're also in the midst of long-term plans to transform our UC Davis Veterinary Medical Center. Our goal is to update and expand our veterinary facility so that we can continue to offer world-class veterinary care and unbeatable education for our students. We've already raised more than $67 million in a campaign for VetMed that we're calling Leading the Way. That represents more than half of our fundraising goals, so we're in great shape going forward. And in Oak Park here in Sacramento, UC Davis Health recently opened its Betty Irene Moore Hall, the new home for our School of Nursing and Health Science professions. This is one of the most innovative educational facilities you'll find anywhere. There are no lecture halls, which if you were a student like me, you'd appreciate that. The whole building is designed for collaboration to have students from nursing, medicine, informatics, public health, and other healthcare disciplines facing one another, learning from one another, and solving problems together, just as health professionals would do on the job. Now, I could go on and on, but I know we have more honorees to hear from, and I'm going to end here where I began by saying I could not be more excited to be at UC Davis. I believe our best is yet to come. Thank you so much for this award. Let's celebrate and continue to innovate. Thank you.
Thank you, Chancellor May. Star Trek references never get old, and always fantastic to hear. And while I was sitting there, I quickly texted Vivek, who was happy to have you down courtside for opening night, and did actually, on March 22nd, 7 o'clock, Kings Hawks. He got you tickets again. They're going to be up in section 219, but like, I mean, it's fine. Like the top R, row R. That's actually above the top, so you're going to be way, but it'll be fine. You'll see it. It'll be amazing, and you'll enjoy that, I'm sure. Next up, we are going to hear, before we get to the award winners, which are coming up, and I know what everybody wants to hear, we have a special guest coming up to the stage, a good friend from Moss Adams, the snappiest dresser here today. Give it up, John Whitfield, everybody.
We both called each other this morning and decided to wear jeans, so we're very innovative. Thank you, Scott, and thank you for all the warm welcome and joining us today to celebrate Sacramento's most innovative. My name is Sean Whitfield. I'm a senior business developer with Moss Adams, and I'm sure you're probably wondering what an accounting firm is doing up here at an innovation awards when they're usually talking about GAAP and taxes and everything like that. We paid a lot of money to be up here, okay? So that's one thing. But actually, we were asked by our wonderful partners over at Stoll Reeves to count the votes and tabulate from the selection committee and judges to ensure that the voting process was credible. You know the importance of that. I can, with a great deal of confidence, assure you that neither La La Land or Moonlight is winning an award today. Okay? So in my role, I meet a lot of entrepreneurs. We have a lot of entrepreneur clients, and they have one thing in common, and that's vision. Vision of a product that will change the world, a service that will revolutionize an industry, Innovation is the mechanism that makes those visions become a reality. When I think of innovation, I think of the team working late into the night, striving to find a way to fix a process to do it better. And that's what we're here to celebrate today. Your endeavors to create and advance new products, services, and processes revitalize our Sacramento region, and we're very thankful for that. You look for the possible in everyone else's impossible, the opportunity in the uncharted, and the chance to meet today's unique challenges head on. Like you, these qualities are deeply ingrained with us at Moss Adams, built on possibility, optimism, ingenuity, and collaboration. Our client service approach focuses on the culture of possible. Some examples of our own innovation include the development of proprietary software systems to better identify working opportunity tax credits, as well as the creation of an entire online exchange for buying and selling tax credits across state lines. On behalf of the entire team at Moss Adams, I am thankful for the hard work and the vision of Stoll Reeves, along with the support of the Business Journal and the selection committee members. Congratulations to the nominees and honorees for the Sacramento Region Innovation Awards. Thank you.
Thank you, John. We are now going to welcome up the hardworking co-chairs of the event, and they're going to take us through some of the awards, and we get to meet our winners. So please help me welcome up from Stoll Reeves LLP, Melissa Jones and Chris Russell.
Before we get started, I'd like to thank Scott Moak for serving as our Master of Ceremony today, giving us a chance to draw attention to the Golden One Center and its impact on our community. We'd also like to, again, to recognize our selection committee.
The selection committee consists of more than 50 professionals with experience and expertise in one of the program's 6 award categories. Those individuals devoted many hours to evaluating more than 75 nominations on criteria including market need, novelty, economic impact, and disruption. Their final votes bring us here today, and we sincerely appreciate their dedication to the cause. We'd also like to again acknowledge our partners, Moss Adams and the Sacramento Business Journal.
Stoll Reeves produces similar innovation programs in Utah, Idaho, and Seattle. As an attorney who has worked with local startup community for nearly 18 years, it's rewarding to be part of this effort to give back to our ecosystem and be supported by a firm that recognizes the importance of these types of programs. A special thanks to our other 11 attorneys at Stoll Reeves who helped to facilitate the 6 judging committees. I will note in a lawyerly fashion that none of the Stoll Reeves people casted votes for the award program. Only our selection committee. We have about 350 lawyers across 10 offices, including statewide presence in California. Stoll Reeves is one of the largest national firms focused on energy, natural resources, climate change, and the environment. In the room today, you have at your tables litigators, corporate and IP lawyers, real estate and land use specialists, professionals focused on every industry represented in our award categories.
Now on to the awards. 16 finalists across 6 categories were revealed on September 26th. We've prepared video highlights of each innovation grouped by category. Following each video, we'll announce the winner. Finalists, as your video category plays, please approach to this side of the stage and wait for the video to finish.
Our first award category is Advanced Manufacturing, which is the use of innovation to improve products or processes. Advanced manufacturing methods are often seen in aerospace, chemicals, electronics, machinery, plastics, and the transportation manufacturing. And the finalists are
when you look at our company, we actually have 2 different sides. One side is running big old CNC 5-axis machines where we machine titanium, Monel, Inconel, crazy aerospace metals. We machine crazy components that go onto motors, go onto rockets, and go up to the space station. Also, we've created an academy, so a CNC academy that gives curriculum to all the schools across the nation and beyond, so everybody coming in trying to fix the skills gap actually has good curriculum to learn so they can advance and learn how to run these machines. The academy is revolutionary because it's giving them exactly what they need to not only do a good job, but to come in and be pillars for that company to allow them to compete in a global market. It's done by expert machinists, giving these guys actual skills that they need to get a good paying job.
Duralaser got the nomination for Laser Solution for Advanced Manufacturing. So Duralaser was founded in 2013 by Grayson Beck and David Pax. Together, the two of them have over 40 years in the laser manufacturing industry with metal tubing. So the tube can be, as small as a grain of sand, for instance, to 1/4 of an inch or above. And these get fed through a laser, and the laser cuts them to whatever pattern that was discussed with the engineer and the customer to eventually generate a product. The thing that makes a Duro laser unique is the incredible level of efficiency that we operate under. That is what sets us apart from the industry. Our entire workflow is paperless and built on database management, so there's no wasted time. Everybody is more efficient, the workflow is more efficient, and a tremendous amount of time is saved, and that is what really sets us apart.
Congratulations to the winner of the Advanced Manufacturing category. Titans of CNC. Accepting the award is CEO Titans Gill. No prepared speech, but it's going to come real with you guys. I woke up this morning and I thought, what an incredible day to come to the Innovation Awards. I remember the SAC Business Journal in 2008 put us in their magazine as one of the fastest growing companies in the region. We're making millions of dollars. And that is in 2008. In 2009, I would lose almost everything, lay off 40 employees, and drop to the bottom of the bottom, spending my lunches on the Forest Hill Bridge, like praying to have my shop saved and my employees so I could give them a job. In 2010, I started working with Elon Musk and SpaceX, making rocket parts that go up to the space station. And we've been making parts in 2,000 different part numbers on those rockets ever since, on every single rocket that's actually gone up to the space station. I rehired a lot of those employees. We started a TV show. We manufacture for big companies. But when you drop to the valley and you go so deep in business and you feel the pain of understanding the good and the bad and the ugly of just being an entrepreneur, your heart, something happened with my heart. Because all of a sudden, making the best and having everybody saying how I'm such a great manufacturer and it didn't mean anything anymore. Because I'd experienced that all these companies were going out of business because of just sheerly not understanding technology. And therefore, I would go on with my amazing team to dedicate ourselves to lifting up all the companies around the nation and world to actually show them how to use technology, and actually to lift up their companies. So now when I go to the airport, it's not about making the cool parts that we make. It's about seeing people from all walks of life in every single state come up to me and talk about their business and how they saw the show or they were inspired and they're hiring people and actually
buying machines and competing right here in the great United States of America. I feel that sometimes we go through hardship, we go through things that we learn what we need to become qualified to come over here and be used for a greater purpose. And that's what it's all about. I want to thank my beautiful wife for standing through the valleys with me, my amazing team, everybody who put on this Innovations Award. This is an amazing thing to have in our community, and it's my honor to accept this award. Thank you very much.
Our next category is food and agribusiness. The finalists are
Athena Intelligence is what we call the IOE, or Internet of Earth. We're a big data processing and analytical company for the data of land, food, water, and energy. We drive analytics and are attempting to make the data of land, food, water, and energy easy to drive a smarter, more intelligent food system. The impact that we have is that we make it easy for those companies to be able to align their supply chains and to be able to document that and communicate it out to those marketplaces. Many years ago, it became apparent to me that one of the obstacles why innovation is slow to be adopted in agriculture is the fact that it's difficult for a grower, for example, just to be able to pull the data together to understand if the innovation is actually having a positive impact. And so I wanted to solve that problem. My advice would be to fall in love with the why. Why are you doing this? And the answer should be because I'm solving a problem. And so you need to have the expertise to understand what the problem is. And then as soon as you can, go get others to do it, because you can't do it on your own.
Circularis makes tools that allow us to control gene expression. Our innovation is something I worked on for a long time. It's a special kind of molecule called a ribozyme. Ribozymes are RNA molecules that actually act as enzymes. And using this, we can find the sequences in DNA that control when, where, and how much protein is made. Being able to control how much protein is made allows you to manipulate biological systems, which are the most complex systems on the planet. So if we can control when, where, and how much protein is made, we can control the cell. If we control the cell, you can control the organism. We can see it being applied in things as disparate as improving crop plants to make food more secure for people all over the world, making medicines more cheaply so they're accessible to people, making gene therapies where there really isn't one now. I'm a scientist CEO. I'm not a business person, and it's really important for you to sort of search your soul about what you don't know and where you feel least comfortable, and find someone who complements that.
XTB's innovation is examining volatile organic compound profiles, odor profiles that are released from trees in response to pathogen infection. So we can measure those signals, those odors, and we can see whether or not there is a change going on in the plant system, specifically looking at disease diagnostics. The technology that's deployed in the field, and it grabs air samples from trees, and we take that sample back to the laboratory and we look at the identity of the chemicals that are in the odors. And from that, we can tell whether or not, with 90% prediction accuracy, whether a tree is infected or not. The citrus industry is dealing with an infectious pathogen that's spreading in the United States. This has represented about a $3.6 billion loss for the industry over just the last 5 years alone. For citrus growers, this can be a management practice and tool that can help them to remove trees early or to spray insecticides when it can be beneficial to prevent disease spread. We've been working on this for approximately 8 years, and we now have a fieldable solution, but it takes persistence.
Congratulations to the winner of the Food and Agribusiness category, XTB Laboratory. Accepting the award is Christina Davis, co-founder and scientific advisor.
pleasure for me to be here today, and I'd like to say thank you for the organizing committee for putting this event on. I think it shows how much Sacramento and the Davis region are helping to support new emerging technologies and startup companies. Just the fact that we're all here today. So thank you all for this. I'd like to also thank our UC Davis Venture Catalyst office. They've been incredibly helpful for us as we spun this technology out of the university and into a real setting. And that would not have been possible without the help over the years as we kind of prepared for that transition. I'd also like to say thank you to the citrus industry. So in California, Florida, Texas, and Arizona, we have a large domestic citrus industry that is in jeopardy right now because of an emerging pathogen. They've helped to support some of this research in a laboratory setting in the university, but they always knew that they wanted it to come out as a commercial venture in the end. And so they've been very helpful as a partner as we move through this process. So I would like to acknowledge them and to say thank you to them as well. So thank you for letting me be here today, and thanks to everybody.
Moving on with the hardware and electronics category. The finalists are
So Apern Data Systems is a 25-person company out in Folsom. We make high-performance storage equipment for big data. We're working with like the FDA, the U.S. Army, large television companies. So these guys all have massive data sets that they're trying to manage, and they break these up into pieces and spread it across a bunch of servers. We actually provide the storage that sits behind that allows them to minimize the amount of equipment they have to buy and get really fast responses to their questions. The innovation is actually the architecture of how we've put that together. So most people, when they solve those type of problems, they take the data sets and they break them up into pieces across servers. You end up with thousands of servers. So for Google or Facebook, that's probably fine. But for even the U.S. Army, that's too much equipment. What we're able to do is actually provide an ability for the end customers to get through this and get notification when something changes in real time. So small amounts of hardware, real-time responses, and now you can just do things that just couldn't do before. The level of satisfaction you get out of things like this, you just can't beat. If it's successful, you did it, and if it's a failure, you did it.
Chirp Microsystems is a company that uses MEMS technology to make ultrasound sensors. MEMS is an acronym for Micro Electromechanical Systems, and MEMS is the technology that's used to make the motion sensors that's used in your smartphone, smartwatch, and also to make things like the microphones that are in there as well. But what we saw was 10 years ago when we started this work that nobody had done any kind of effort to modernize ultrasound. So ultrasound was really ripe to take modern technology, modern integrated circuit, modern MEMS technology, and really use it to make a tiny ultrasound sensor that has very high performance. So we talk about this in the same way that, like, solid state lighting has replaced the incandescent bulb, or that digital camera had replaced the film camera. We're doing the same thing for the ultrasound market. And we are just around the corner from the first customers introducing products that incorporate the Chirp ultrasound technology. So you're going to see some really exciting announcements at the Consumer Electronics Show in Las Vegas in this coming January, where you'll see Chirp products in virtual reality systems. So look for the intersection of ultrasound and VR, and you'll see Chirp right there.
My company is called TechSense, and so basically we want to mimic human touch and provide a smart and intelligent and a flexible solution for the next generation of how human will interact with the computers. And we found that the sensor can be 1,000 times better than any existing sensors on the market. If you're looking at the end of the device, you can transmit whatever detected by your finger touch or the movement of your body into the electric signal. And it can be applied to your apparel, your shoes. For example, we can track your pulsation of your body, so we know your heart rate, we know your breath rate, we know your blood pressure, most of your vitals. At the same time, we can turn that into your active signals. So we will create a very easy and natural, no barrier interface between the human and the computers. You know, forget about the mouse and the keyboard.
Congratulations to the winner for hardware and electronics. Aperion Data Systems accepting the award is CEO Lee Harrison.
So I promise I'm not going to talk about NVMe drives today. By the way, as a side note, I did do my undergraduate at Georgia Tech, so I'm very excited about having a chance to be out here to recreate the success we had in Atlanta. So, you know, as a startup, you're working weekends and nights and many holidays, and it's always unclear how the community views what you're doing and if they have a good idea of the impact you can have in an industry. And you know, we've got some grand plans at Appian. We're really planning to enhance people's lives by allowing companies to process massive amounts of data in real time all around you. And that's going to change how you interact with self-driving cars, or how your financial files are protected from cyber intrusions, or even just how you interface with other businesses in the world. So, you know, one nice thing about this award, I can go back to my employees and I can say, hey, you know, we've been recognized for some of the work that we're doing, and people recognize that your hard work is going to actually change some things in the industry. Now get back to work. So I'm very happy. Thank you very much, and I really appreciate the recognition. Thank you.
Before we take a look at our finalists in the medical and health category, we want to recognize and acknowledge MedStart and its advisory board. This award took shape back in 2010 as the Claire Pomeroy Award for Innovation in Medical Technology. We're pleased to partner with MedStart to continue the tradition of celebrating breakthroughs in this sector. And now the finalists.
Jonathan Morgan, I'm the President and CEO of Applied Science, Inc. We have brought process automation and data analytics to the hospital space, specifically focused on the needs of nursing clinicians so that they actually have more time to take care of patients. I think what makes us different, if we actually design this platform with the nursing clinicians at Dignity Health. They were intimately involved in guiding us what their workflow needs were, and frankly also were inspirational in terms of letting us know how much they wanted to actually spend time with patients rather than being in front of a computer screen tapping away at a keyboard. That platform has processed close to 20,000 patient encounters, and there's not been one support call at Dignity Health. Not one.
I'm a pediatric anesthesiologist by training, and I do a lot of C-sections. And what I realized about 4 years ago was that a lot of women end up getting C-sections based on incomplete and imprecise information. So we are a medical device company that has built a new fetal oximeter, and what it does is it helps improve outcomes for mothers and babies during childbirth. And so it started off as just an idea from my clinical experience, and slowly the idea has turned into a company that has NIH grants, clinical trials, we have a working prototype, we have patents that have been issued. I feel like I'm on this crusade to improve childbirthing process for hundreds of millions of women around the world.
In 2013, I was diagnosed with cancer the 4th time, and it was the 9th surgery I had. I knew I was going into that surgery and coming out with medical drains. After that surgery, I went home, started working with supplies, working through what could possibly be a much more efficient way of managing drains. And in 2014, I started using these drains with UC Davis Medical Center and their surgical center. And they tested them out, it worked extremely well. So that's when I started marketing the Keeley Medical Drain Carrier. With the medical drain carrier, a patient no longer has to put these really distasteful drains on their clothing. My words of encouragement is to persevere and feel that you have got a good idea, that your notion is going to make a difference in the world, and you're going to have to hold on during tough times, but you are going to actually touch lives with whatever your innovation is.
Now, congratulations to the winner of the medical and health category, Applied Science. Accepting the award is Jonathan Morgan, President and CEO.
First of all, I'd like to say thanks to the Strategic Innovation Award Group. This is an extraordinary honor. I'd also like to say thanks to the ASI team. You guys have done an amazing job. And I'd also like to thank ASI's two partners, Dignity Health and Global Logic. We're committed to giving time back to nurses so that they can fuel their passion to take care of patients. There are a number of major vectors in today's healthcare world that we need to be mindful of. We've got a crisis that's looming. We've got an aging population. Today, the 65 plus age group here in the United States amounts to about 45 million people. In 10 to 15 years, that number is going to be 75 million people. In addition, we have rising comorbidities. We as a nation are getting sicker. And the payment system is broken. And the question that we ask ourselves is, who's going to take care of us? And today, the clinicians that we work with are spending 35 to 50% of their time in front of a computer screen doing data entry work. And it's not their passion. Their passion, the joy that they feel every day, is taking care of patients. These are the people who are going to be taking care of us as we get older. These are the people who are going to be taking care of our parents. And this is what we're passionate about, giving them back time. We're in the automation business, but we're not automating anybody out of a job. In fact, what we're doing is we're making people more productive and giving them the joy that they feel about taking care of patients, because it's so important for where we have to be in 10 to 15 years' time. Again, thank you so much.
Up next, we have finalists in a very competitive software category.
Dowsource is the global leader in communications, automation, and analytics for those organizations that use either Salesforce or Microsoft as their CRM. Our technology allows organizations to operate in a more efficient and accurate manner so that they can provide a more engaging and accurate experience to their clients. Our clients can range from those in sports like our neighbors in the Sacramento Kings to VSP Global, or even organizations like the American Diabetes Association that use our technology. We use these conversations to derive analytics and automation, saving the sales and service reps a significant amount of time at the end of each client interaction, and then using this automation to create this actionable intelligence and analytics to help organizations make more informed and accurate decisions, and ultimately provide a better quality of experience and better delivery to their client base. To believe in yourself and to commit to the idea or the innovation entirely if you actually believe in it.
SkySlope processes documents that are sent in by our clients in the form of a PDF, and we take that email and then we can automatically identify those documents, chop them up, and put them into places that they need to go. Now, the biggest benefit to our innovation is that we save the real estate agents a lot of time by being able to process the documents that they send to us automatically and route them where they need to go. We're always trying to save time, and our future goal is that real estate agents won't have to deal with the paperwork. You know, we call it internally self-driving transactions. I'm really excited about what we're coming up with later this year and also in 2018. Automatic document recognition is really just one piece of a larger puzzle, and we're going to start putting in the other pieces of that puzzle, and self-driving transactions really are right around the corner.
What our innovations at Pondera all do is they differentiate bad actors from good actors in a program. We call these models advanced analytics for fraud detection. I was able to build computer models that showed the learning process as it took place, and we could differentiate people that were learning from people that weren't. Then I discovered that fraudsters learn how to cheat. So it really is a learning problem. How do they learn how to cheat? That's really what we capture with our innovation. We can visually see how they figure it out. And so what we're doing really is modeling their thinking through the transactions they make and the data, and then we enhance that with external sources of data that tell us this person is suspicious. However you do it, you need to find a sustainable source of inspiration, because the innovators typically innovate 500 or 600 ideas before anything actually works. That certainly has been true in my experience.
Congratulations to the winning innovation from Pondera Solutions. Accepting the award is Scott Sullivan, Director of Predictive Analytics and Document Science.
I'd like to present to you whack-a-mole. This is what our CEO, John Koss, uses to describe what we do. Fraud pops up in these holes, and the departments try to smack them on the head. What we're going to be doing as we go forward is starting to predict what holes they're going to pop out of and where they're going to dig the next holes. So we house this little game in our dev department so that they remember what it is they're there for. So what I'd like to do now is just thank the three founders that really had the vision for this, Asif, Ahmed, and John Koss, and Greg Luce, because they saw an opportunity to take analytics to government. And I'd also like to thank everybody we work with at Pondera. One of the things I loved about that video is that it showed a lot of our employees. We really have a culture of innovation. It isn't just me. I just collect the ideas and make them happen. So I think what's important going forward is that we all learn how to be curious, to pursue those things we're curious about, and make them happen in the real world. And if we do that, we're going to have a better place in any industry that we're in. Thanks.
Sustainability is our final category. This includes innovation in clean tech, energy, water use, and climate change. Let's see the finalists.
Tourism Power Systems is a small startup located in El Dorado Hills. We're an engineering and research and development company, and we really have focused on the development and commercialization of highly efficient hydraulic systems. Our ultimate goal is to be able to power heavy-duty off-road vehicles in a completely renewable and sustainable manner. Right now you can't do that. Every vehicle is powered by diesel, and we want to provide an option that will get us to fully renewable sources of motive power. We make a hybrid system, and it is a hybrid system like a Prius is a hybrid. We have a lithium-ion battery system. We have an engine that generates and charges the battery pack. And then we have a system that can heat and cool the cab. And we have a system that can power all the hydraulics. All of that makes up the hybrid power system that we have developed. We want to get out there that we're not just in this niche industry. We're really out there to impact the whole world.
What we're doing is we're capturing heat, and we're capturing heat from the sun really efficiently at various temperatures. In this range of temperature, we can take that heat and we can drive all kinds of processes and drive, let's say, a Stirling engine or some sort of turbine, and we can spin that to produce electricity. Currently, what we're focused on is using that heat to sanitize water, and the idea is to be able to sanitize very large amounts of water, essentially provide infrastructure level water treatment without the requirement for being connected to a traditional grid. So the impact is to try and take that water and provide a level of cleanliness and do it simply and economically. In our current stage, it's extremely effective for developing areas that don't have reliable energy access. The reason this is important is because this is the best way to replace fossil fuels. Focus on the small leaps, don't keep waiting for the big stuff. Often it's a grind all the way up, but you know, if you're really passionate, eventually you'll do something really important, you'll make something that's really useful.
Congratulations to the winner in sustainability, 10KIV.
So on behalf of 10KIV, thank you very much. We're absolutely honored to accept this award, and I definitely want to make sure that we thank the sponsors and the organizers of this event. I know they worked really hard to put this on. But also a huge thank you to the Sacramento community, which really needs to be highlighted. You know, there's a lot of organizations and groups that have helped us a lot along the way. You know, some real quick off the top of my head. Clean Start, Impact Venture Capital, Startup SAC, 1 Million Cups. You guys have really helped us a lot to get to where we are now. And an important note is, like I mentioned in the video, our technology has a lot of different applications, but the first place it's taking us is into a lot of challenging developing areas. We're a very impact-driven company. Some of those areas soon will be in places like Afghanistan and Somalia. So knowing that we have this kind of support back home just really inspires us to work harder and to do more to try and get our technology out there. So thank you.
All of the finalists impressed and inspired our judges. Their stories were brought to life with the help of our friends at Dynasty Video Productions. Lisa, Rick, and Jamie Smith. Dynasty Video is the recipient of a City of Sacramento Rails grant, which supports a documentary series called Innovation Sacramento, designed to deliver content about the innovation ecosystem and the change makers behind the unexposed stories. Their show will be launching soon. Thank you, Dynasty Video. And please join us one last time in celebrating all of our award winners, finalists, judges, and supporters.
If I may take one more quick moment to underscore the Innovation of the Year award given to UC Davis. Half the winners from last year and 6 of the 16 finalists this year have some connection with the UC Davis. University is one of our region's key engines, driving innovation and technology across many sectors. Simply put, it's a catalyst for new thinking and economic growth. And now, let's welcome to the stage the publisher of the Sacramento Business Journal, David Glickman.
Great program. I do a lot of events. Some of them seem very long. This one seemed very fast because there's a lot of information here and so much inspiring information. So anyway, huge round of applause for all the people being recognized today. This is our second year being involved with the program, and I'm very excited to be continuing this year and into the future. From start to finish, there's so many steps that have to take place. We open nominations at the beginning of June, and then it's off to the races right up until today, event day. Many of you in the room today are involved in the process and can attest to the amount of work and thought that's gone into coming up with the finalists and then getting down to selecting the winners. I want to say thank you to the companies highlighted today for driving creativity and innovation in a place we all call home and helping to better where we live and where we work. Interestingly enough, during the conversations that the steering committee had regarding what or who should be Innovation of the Year, numerous candidates were discussed. One that was particularly interesting to me and other people was the concept of public art as innovation and innovative. Yet how do you award public art? What definition will we give it? Who would come up and physically accept that award? We see a resurgence of art in the community, and art in the community is a reflection of innovation in the minds of the individuals in the community. My girls growing up, they're theater girls. Okay? They wouldn't be where they were today without the experience they had in theater. I can stand up here and talk to this group, and I have no fear. They don't either. But standing up in front of a crowd in public speaking is the #1 fear of most Americans, most people in the world, is public speaking. So where does public art fit in? We're not really sure, but we do know that the steering committee landed on the outstanding university right here in our backyard, but the concept of public art remains something that we as a community need to keep our eye on. This week, the city of Sacramento is hosting meetings for Creative Edge, Sacramento's arts, culture, and creative economy plan. While the Business Journal is a business publication, and the Innovation Awards are focused on the business of innovation, there's clearly a space for the creativity in our community that helps drive jobs, retention, regional success, and pride in our community and the livability of our community. So I look at it as a symbiotic relationship. That as we drive innovation, we drive creativity, we drive art, we drive the artistic impression. We have something for the entire community. We have some people today with innovations that are much more comfortable in a binary world, ones and zeros, and other people, and somebody mentioned it today, and I apologize for not knowing, 500 ideas before one comes to fruition in some cases. If you don't tell me that's part of creativity and artful thinking, I don't know what is. So I bring that up, and as we conclude the program, I want to mention one other thing we're going to do that's a little different this year. Because we're learning as we grow, and we're innovating as we go. The winners in each category have been invited to participate next Friday in a roundtable discussion with our editor-in-chief, Adam Steinauer. They're going to talk about innovation. They're going to talk about what they learn, what they learn about the marketplace, trends in the cities, the challenges and successes they've personally experienced, and a sense of where these trends are headed in our marketplace. That is going to be transcribed. It's going to be recorded by those people that take it down word for word. What do they call those people? Lawyers, what do they call those? Stenographers, thank you. Or legal reporters or whatever. Transcribed and put in the Business Journal as an in-depth piece in a couple of weeks. So look forward to that. I want to say one other thing that was really interesting, and I think it was from our first honoree, was the journey. The journey. We're seeing the result. We're seeing the result of these great companies in our region. But the journey, we don't always get to see. And some of these journeys are not easy. In fact, I'm willing to bet you that in many cases, the companies being recognized today might have mortgaged a house, a relationship. They might have mortgaged their life to this success. So it's about journey and it's about commitment. And we as a community need to commit to help these companies and ones like them that will follow to succeed. So that's one thing we all have to look at. How can we help and how can we commit the people that are willing to commit everything themselves so that they can be successful? Thanks again to Stoll Reeves and Moss Adams for continuing the program, and kudos to Sacramento State University College of Business Administration for stepping up and sponsoring today. Recognizing and celebrating innovation is something that's critical to the community, as I mentioned, and this program demonstrates that. It's exciting and inspiring to see the growth and accelerations happening because who knows what else is coming in the future. Thank you very much. Scott?
Well done. It's here for David Lippman in the Sac Business Journal. we're coming upon close. We only have about an hour and 15 minutes left, so if you guys can just sit tight. Just I'm totally kidding. We do want to thank and say once again, congratulations to all of the honorees, finalists. We heard some incredibly uplifting and heartwarming stories from Titan to the things that are changing our world. So congratulations to all of you and what you're doing. We also heard the fact that orange juice is going to be gone in like 2 years. This is very concerning to me, and I'm very thankful that we have someone working on that right now. But again, let's give a big round of applause to all of our honorees and finalists. Dynasty Video, we gave them a little love, but one more time, go making sure you check out what they have going on out there. They have some amazing AR and other things that they're working on, so give it up for Dynasty Video. Nice job. The selection committee and everybody in the room that helped make today possible, and all the blood, sweat, and tears that went into choosing, give them one more round of applause. Jen Forrester said specifically, do not thank me during this program, so I'm not going to thank Jen Forrester. You are, so you can give her a big round of applause. Thank Chancellor May, and again congratulate UC Davis for this year's award. We are very proud of you and what you have set forth, and very proud of the university. So thank you and congratulations to UC Davis on behalf of everybody here. As was mentioned, 2018 submission period is going to open up before we know it. It'll be June before we know it, and that's when it opens, so make sure to keep an eye on that. We definitely rely on this room of supporters and influencers to encourage submissions and others that you know that should be nominated, so make sure to do that. We are going to ask all of our finalists to stick around, come on up stage side, so that Tia can do a big photo of all of you, so don't leave yet if you are a finalist, a winner, or a judge. So make sure to stick around. And with that, I get to wrap up the second annual Sacramento Region Innovation Award. Thank you all for coming today, and we will see you next year. Thanks, everybody.